Okay. Into the pit. There are reports of a new radio message being broadcasted across the capital wasteland. The transmission appears to be some sort of distress call and gives little information except the location and name of the man making the plea. Werner's distress signal found. Quest added into the pit. Point lookout. A riverboat has docked at the mouth of the Potomac, carrying a trade from the distant peninsula of Point Lookout. The captain offers passage to Point Lookout for any mercenary, treasure hunter or adventurer looking to explore a new land. These must be for the because I've got the Game of the Year edition. This is obviously the add-on packs for it. A new radio broadcast has been heard across the capital wasteland. Whilst completely unintelligible, it sounds ominous. Mothership Zeta. Fuck is Mothership Zeta? It sounds like something that the Brotherhood of Steel would fly around in. Broken steel loaded. Broken steel has been loaded. Your level cap has been raised to 30. Nice.
Give your bodies to Atom, my friend. Release yourself to his power. Feel his glow and be...
Yeah, what movies did you watch, Rob? Alert. A new radio broadcast has been heard across the capital wasteland. It sounds like a distress call, but seems meant for only for certain ears only. There is the other water thingy thing. So there's one... Where are we? There's one there, and there's one... Where do we see it? I saw a little water there. The guy with the water treatment plant was saying that he had a couple of leaks. I'm sure he said there was 3, so there's 2 of them. One there, and one there. Now we need to find the third one, but we don't have a high enough repair skill, if I remember rightly, to fix it. So yeah, we're just going to go through and explore. One of the things we had to do was go and travel to Rivet City. And if I remember rightly, it is down in the southeast here. We got given the location of it by someone we spoke to last week when we were streaming. So that should be a fun little adventure, and hopefully we won't die. Maybe we'll stock up on stim packs before we go. I had a look at some mods. Now, nothing crazy. Not like adding extra places into it or anything. So like some HD texture packs and stuff. Just to make the game work a little bit more smoothly. Hopefully we don't get any crash issues. When I was testing, I had a couple, so I took them out, and I've taken most of them back off, and I was gradually adding them on. But the stream was calling, so we had to just crack on.
Welcome to Megaton.
Okay,
Please
so
stand clear.
let's set a waypoint. So we've got to cross the river somewhere.
Up the gate.
It's really nice playing a Fallout game that I'm familiar with the layout of it all. As I say, I played Fallout 4. And Fallout 1 and 2 fuck you, game. Gee, you took lots of bullets like a champ. What wants to kill me over here? I see him on the map. Upload fly. Get out of here. Whoa. Is that bridge across the river? We'll head to what's left of that bridge. The bridge doesn't look too healthy. Nor does the one over there. Okay, so we can't cross here. Don't think I want to go in the water. That doesn't look like a good idea to me. Oh, jeez. I want to try and stay out of her way. She has a bigger gun than I do. Oh. Are these landmines? They look a lot like landmines. I don't want to find out whether they are landmines or not. Or whether they work. Can I walk along here? I kind of want to stay out the landmines way. Next level. Yeah, they definitely look like landmines. Whoa, that set all of them off. I don't think I need to walk on there anymore. Fuck. Them things are back. I don't think I want to mess with him. Anchorage Memorial. What the fuck was that? It couldn't have been him that shot it. Okay, maybe it was. Crippled the tongue of a centaur. Wonderful. Come out of here. I want to try and preserve a little bit of ammunition. Oh, well, fuck you, game. Okay. I wonder if she'll run away this time. That is a shit. That is a shit house. Yeah. Where am I going? Rivet City. Hi.
Well, look at this.
Wow.
We got us a wanderer all the way out here in Wilm's Wharf. You must got some important business out here to be wandering around.
She crazy.
But tain't none of my beeswax what you're doing. But if you're interested in trading, maybe we can help each other.
Absolutely. What are you doing way out here?
My boys are hunting lurks. Finest meat you could get, but it don't move around in your stomach like mole rat does. Right dangerous, those things. Just as soon take your head off as look at you. Watch yourself out here. They're all over.
Is there anything else going on here?
Some fellas came out here a while ago that said they was looking for some do-gooder that came out from one of them vaults. I told them I ain't seen nobody like that and sent them on their way. They might still be around here, though, if you think you can help them.
I have to go now. Bye.
You watch out for Gwai. They're all over.
Rivet City. This might be the way. You have discovered Rivet City. Very fine. Who the fuck is this?
Hey there. Keep it on the level and everything will be fine.
Okay. I didn't expect Rivet City. I don't know really why I expected Rivet City to be it, but I didn't expect it to be a big boat.
Please help me. I need water. I'm dying.
Water. Have this purified water.
You mean you don't want anything for it? I don't have any caps or anything. I can just have it for free?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You've saved my life. Bless you.
I gained karma. Oh, there was a button.
Welcome to Rivet City. Please wait while the bridge extends.
You're just gonna let me in? You don't know who I am. Or what I'm capable of. I didn't wait, I just walked. I figured that was enough waiting.
Hold it right there.
Hey, the fuck is this
State
guy?
your business in Rivet City.
Looking for my father?
And who might your father be? If he lives on this boat, I know him.
I know him. I'm sure you don't know him. He's lived in a vault his whole life.
Oh, yeah? And I'm a fairy princess. You keep up this smart-ass attitude, and you're gonna wind up floating face down in the river.
Fuck you, gay. He's disappeared. I'm just trying to find him, that's all.
All right. You can go on in. If I hear about any trouble, you're gonna wind up in the river. You get me?
You get me.
Everything looks okay here.
Good. Marketplace closed at night. Marketplace. No. Open door to stairwell. Okie dokie. Can we wait? What was the button for wait? Wasn't it T? It's 11:37 p.m. Let's wait till... Let's wait 8 hours. A good old-fashioned Fallout mechanic where nobody bats an eyelid at this random dude standing here with a baseball bat for 8 hours without moving. Okay. Common room. Science lab. That's always a bad sign when you come into an area and it auto-saves immediately. Oh. That's gonna have good stuff in it. Typewriter. Common room. Look in there in a minute. Hi.
I'm on duty. Make it quick.
Duty. I'm kind of lost. Can you help me?
I suppose.
Where is Dr. Lee's lab? And how the fuck do I know who Dr. Lee is?
Stern. That's the West End to you.
Fuck you. I have to go now?
Yeah. See you.
I'm guessing she's in the science lab. What is that? Science lab? I'm guessing she's in here then. I don't know who the fuck Dr. Lee is, but fuck it.
For the most advanced scientific center in the capital wasteland, I find your...
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake, the technology
This guy
in that
seems like a
android...
dick.
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Yeah.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
Depends exactly what you're talking about here.
To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property.
Missing property? What kind of property?
How do I put this in a way you'll understand?
Dick.
All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not
Mr.
all
Handshakers.
a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids,
Synths.
programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Sounds like slavery to me.
Nonsense! This is a machine we're talking about. Can you enslave a generator or a water purifier? Of course not. The same principle applies. But let's get back to your mission. You are to find this missing android. I've tracked him to somewhere here in the capital wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it.
I'll be compensated for my services, right?
Of course. I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think.
Yes,
You'll be
yes.
the envy of all your friends.
And you'll be dead. I mean, I'll look for your android for you.
Excellent.
Not right now, but I will,
Locate
maybe.
my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that.
No added missing droid. I need to know more about what I'm dealing with. What is an android exactly?
Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically.
Any suggestions? If that's the case, how am I going to find him? So any suggestions for finding this android?
Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings.
If this android wandered off, why would he want a new mind and face?
Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life. Wipe away all memory, all guilt. Trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story.
Why would an android feel guilt? Come on, Zimmer, what aren't you telling me?
By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds.
You've done cookies for a long time.
Satisfied now?
So if others have escaped, why are you coming after this one?
This particular android, designation A321, is different. Special. The most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. But A321? It will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable.
Tell me about the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished.
Okay, I have to go now.
Of course you do.
Hey there.
Well, hey there.
What do you need?
I'm looking for my father. Have you seen him? Straight to the point.
Some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
What do you know about Zimmer?
He's from up north. He was bragging about how great it is up there. Yeah, great. They can't even keep tabs on their robots.
Can I get a drink around here? Preferably somewhere clean.
The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, be more careful.
No! I found a bobblehead. We found a Vault-Tec limited edition bobblehead. The inscription on the base reads, "It takes the smartest individuals to realize there's always more to learn. Your intelligence has been permanently increased by 1. That should mean, if I'm correct, that is now 10. Highly intelligent. That's kind of what I came. I heard it was here. Dr. Lee.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of
Isn't she in 4 as well?
It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you?
What?
What are you doing here?
You know who I am? Have we met?
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same.
I'm trying to find my father. Have you seen him?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
This isn't about me. This is about my father. Now where is he?
Your father is no longer here, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't use that tone with me.
I'm sorry, could you please tell me where he's gone?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
Where is this old lab of yours?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Oh. Can you tell me more about my parents?
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
I never knew my mother. What can you tell me about her?
Yes. Your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
What was my father like back then?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time and wants to try again.
Why did my mother die? What happened?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
I understand. I'm sure you did everything you could.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Just come back. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Is there any way you can help me out?
Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own.
Fuck you, bitch.
I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors or...
Shut up, bitch!
I'm sorry.
Come on, isn't there anything you can do to help?
I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you.
Yes. 5? Oh, I could literally kiss you, but social distancing. Tell me about this project you worked on with my father.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
What's the point of it?
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated.
Why didn't it work?
We had the basic principles down. We understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment.
Why did you stop working on it? What happened?
You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.
I want to know more about you.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared.
I wonder where this is in the timeline compared to
before you now.
Fallout 4. What is this lab? What are you doing here?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
What kind of place is this Rivet City?
Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land.
Just checking in.
We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
I have to go now.
Good luck finding your father.
Right, let's go. What else can we find in here? A Capital Preservation Society. Let's learn about the Capital Preservation Society. Constitution of the USA. Drafted in 1786 and adopted a year later by the Constitutional Confederation of Philly. This document defines the organization of the US government and sets forth the rules and regulations known as articles. In addition, there are modifications made to these articles by ruling presidents during their reigns known as amendments. The Society owns the only known copy of the document to exist, which was retrieved from the ruins of the National Archives in 2256. The Emancipation Proclamation was a document issued by the breathtakingly characteristic President Abraham Lincoln in 1862. This executive order was the beginning of the end of slavery in the United States. Although it was issued during the Civil War, making it a war measure, it paved the way for the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, which was completely abolished slavery once and for all. The Gettysburg Address. The Capital Preservation Society is proud to have in its possession a copy of one of the most iconic, prolific speeches in United States history. This speech, given by the astonishingly intelligent Abraham... I think these guys love Abraham Lincoln. On Thursday, November 19th, 1863, laid the groundwork for what would later become the basis of democracy in the United States, and set the standards for a country with the government by the people, for the people. The Monroe Doctrine was presented in 1823 by the average and unremarkable President James Monroe, definitely an Abraham Lincoln lover. The document warned the European powers of the time not to interfere in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere, citing the examples of colonization and puppet governments as possible intolerances. US Declaration of War on Germany. Part of our collection is a copy of the formal declaration of war made on Germany during World War II on December the 11th, 1941, by the government and endorsed by the President Franklin D. Roosevelt. While the document doesn't invoke the brilliance of other masterworks like the Emancipation Proclamation, it still served as a reminder to the world that the United States wasn't a power to be trifled with. Trifle. The US Declaration of the War on China. Although it is uncertain when the declaration of war on China was made, some say 2066, when they invaded Alaska. Others say 2067, when the first power armor suits were deployed to counter their forces. It is the last known document of note authored by the United States government before the bombs fell. Had the declaration had the tenacity and might of a stronger president behind it, say Abraham Lincoln, who's to say what the outcome of those tremulous years would have been? Oh, the irony. Abraham Washington's door.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around.
I already did.
Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history.
No wonder he likes Abraham Lincoln so much. He is obviously named after him. Yes, it's an interesting collection indeed.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see.
Absolutely.
Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America.
America.
Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
What is it? What is it?
In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence.
If you want me to retrieve the Declaration, all you have to do is ask. Let me take a leap of faith here. You want me to find it for you?
Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think?
I'd love to be part of history and bring you the document, the Declaration.
Excellent. You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine you are taking
all the
part
side
in another
quests.
chapter of American history. I envy you.
Why don't you do
You
it?
can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives.
I can't imagine that's going to be as straightforward as it sounds. Can you show me how to get to the National Archives on my map?
In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the
Something to do
document
with the
in a
android.
protective
Maybe he is the
glass
android.
case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants.
Fantastic.
Here, let me pinpoint its location for you.
I have a few questions about it.
Please ask them. After all, knowledge is power.
All this info on the Declaration, where'd you get it? I don't like secrets.
Certain information came to light. I paid a fortune in caps to obtain it. There really isn't much more to it.
What does it look like?
A piece of what was called parchment. Sort of a thick paper. Has faded handwritten writing all over it. It's no more than 2.5
See you later, Marcel.
tall and 2 feet wide. If you find it, you should be able to roll it up carefully.
What's the history behind the document?
On July the 4th in 1776, a group calling themselves the Second Judgmental Congress got together at Fort McHenry in Maryland.
Thanks, bud.
After a ceremony which ended with Paul Revere singing the famous battle hymn known as the National Anthem, the document was signed. From there, it was sent to England by plane, presumably, and presented to King George himself. Thus began the Evolutionary War.
Let me ask you something else.
Certainly.
I have to go now.
Be
Bye.
careful. The archives are infested with who knows what.
Speech will probably be my next thing to improve. Can I take these things? No.